Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I forgot what day of the week it was yesterday. It was kind of funny. I'm feeling a little bit off, having some asthma allergy stuff, so I'm not going to do as many videos today and not going to talk quite as much. That was a lot of work, but we'll see how that goes, the different format. Let me know what you think of it for Feedback Friday. Today, I'm talking about an interesting discovery I made reading about, I always forget to push this chair out of the way, reading about Mortal Kombat stuff. And I realized part of the reason that gaming websites might be so clickbaity and outragey is they're seeing the signs of their own demise writ large. Because when I searched, Mortal Kombat reviews, the first two reviews I came up with were like the first things that popped onto my Google were Variety and what was the other one? Hollywood Reporter. That's right. Variety, Hollywood Reporter, like general interest entertainment sites. And this is something I've been watching for a while. This was something, if you've been following my content for a really long time, I was talking about back in like 2014, 2015, that as gaming mainstreams and more general interest entertainment sites start doing game reviews, coupled with YouTube and Twitch allowing people who don't want to read a review or watch a review, they want to see actual gameplay of a game and decide whether or not they're going to buy it. And, with gaming becoming a spectator sport, the relevance of dedicated gaming sites, the need for them is waning. And that's it's interesting to see that sort of that prediction I made seems to be coming true. Oh, I forgot about, by the way, help support this channel, become a monthly patron, patreon.com/Leanna K. Thanks so much. Been getting a nice little bump in Patreon supporters again, so thank you guys for that. And we'll be on Twitch tonight, 6 p.m. But yeah, it's very, and you know what? The Variety review for Mortal Kombat was kind of tried too hard to write about it like it was a movie, focusing on, splatter movies in a book, trying to make it relevant and smarty pants. But the review for the Hollywood Reporter actually wasn't too bad. It was a decently written, well-rounded game review, and it seems both of them were written by women, which I find interesting. Shout out to Brittany Vincent for the one in Variety. Sorry, not Variety, the Hollywood Reporter. It was pretty good. It was like, didn't get too deep into the weeds, talked about features other than the story. Seemed like somebody who actually understood the game. What I found interesting on the Variety review was this little detail. I'll show you here. Even though I didn't find the writing of the review itself all that great, I did appreciate this little thing. I don't know if you can see it here. Played 15 hours on the Xbox One. Down here, Variety is actually making people list how long they played the game, not just what platform they played the game on, which I think is super important. That's a nice little nod, because it tells you how deep the review is. Is it just sort of a sampling, like a flavoring? And this person put in, 60 hours and complete a very long game. So, tip of the hat to Variety, even though it's not a gaming site, it's doing certain disclosure things better than some gaming sites. And then I just had to laugh, because I'm like, I'm going to check out what the gaming sites are doing. And what I discovered was a very clickbaity piece. Just maximize that SEO. A lot of people are going to be talking about Mortal Kombat, so just get anything out we possibly can. An article on Mortal Kombat 11's tutorial in Kotaku. An entire article dedicated to the tutorial. Which, okay, it sounds like it's a pretty in-depth tutorial. But it's an article on the tutorial. I get it that they're just trying to get as many clicks they possibly can, and Mortal Kombat fans are rabid. There's a reason I've done so much content on Mortal Kombat. But the tutorial? Really? it just seems like I'm sure some gaming sites will survive based on their communities. But it really does seem more and more that, at least for AAA, at least for AAA, it's becoming this mainstream event. So, CBS and NBC and New York Times and all that stuff, they're covering more and more gaming content. So I think that the dedicated video game sites would, still cover the big things, but spend more time on the smaller games so that people who want, and focus it on core content, on people who are actually going to a game site to read about games instead of something that, I like variety for other things, I'll read their game reviews. They're really going to have to tailor it, because they cannot compete with, with services like Variety, like Hollywood Reporter, that are partially kind of an industry magazine. So, the gaming is like a side hustle for them. They continue to go through the very lucrative film and television industry. And, I don't think it's any accident that the quality of writing, even on the Variety article that I wasn't really thrilled with because it tried to be too New York Timesy, the quality of the writing is better than what you'd read on an average gaming site. They know how to be concise. They know how to stick to the point. They know how to produce an actual review instead of it being like a thought piece disguised as a review. So, and like I said, it's a mile wide and an inch deep, but they are decent consumer pieces. Now, the truth is, reviews don't make gaming sites any money. And that's why these hot takes are so all over the place. And, the only way you can get outrage is by, running misleading pieces about, misheard lyrics in a video game theme, and then throw the author under the bus for more clicks. Like that's the level that the bigger gaming sites are at. And I guess they're doing what they feel they have to do to survive, but these gaming sites are starting to look more like comic shops. Dedicated comic book shops were looking like 10 years ago, when they were just starting to realize that, it's not the speculator comic market anymore. Digital comics are on the horizon. People aren't buying floppies anymore. Barnes & Noble is carrying trade paperbacks. Oops. So the smart shops kind of diversified into toys and board games and Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. A lot of them closed up. And so my next prediction for the next 5 years is we're going to start seeing a contraction in gaming websites when they finally run out of road with dark money and being acquired and being acquired and being acquired. And some of these gaming sites are going to be folded into larger outlets, because as gaming becomes more mainstream and the moral panic dies down, outlets are going to see that it is lucrative and people do want to consume content about games. And so they're going to be interested in, getting people who can produce gaming content. But it's also going to siphon, YouTube, Twitch is a really cool platform. I'm liking it a lot more than I thought I would. And that's one of those things where you have to be authentic. You have to be legit, because I thought it was going to be a lot more complicated than sitting there playing games and just interacting with the chat and talking and answering questions. But I guess that's a format I thrive in, but you can't be BS and overproduced in that format. You have to sort of be real and be able to think on your toes. So that's sort of where I see the industry going. And is it too bad? I'm not sure, as long as, the jobs in gaming stay about the same amount. It doesn't matter, if you're writing for Kotaku, New York Times, or, Polygon or Variety. It doesn't really matter as long as you're, earning a living, as long as the jobs exist. It doesn't matter what banner the jobs are under. But yeah, I really think these gaming sites need to start, what's the word I'm looking for? Pissing off less, engaging community more. Because I really do think that the hot takes are going to run at a road. There's going to be a polar shift in the next little bit regarding hot takes. And people are getting exhausted by outrage. It's going to burn out fairly soon. And a different paradigm is going to become the dominant one. And at this point, websites that are relying on hate clicks and hot takes are going to be backed into a corner, by their own hand. So that's my thoughts. Help support this channel. Become a monthly patron. Patreon.com/Leanna K. Check me out on Twitch. Red Leanna K on Twitch. And I will see you tomorrow with another video. About what? I don't know.